Hello Greebos and welcome back to downloadable content. In today's video, you're probably wondering, Drifter, why are you lost in the void? And I will tell you. That is because there's a lot of VR fighting games out there. Things like Blade and Sorcery, Tales of Glory, so on and so forth. And you're probably wondering, which game should I play? Maybe you don't have all the money to buy all these wonderful games. So I want to compartmentalize some of these things and break things down and show you the reasons why you might want to get each one of these games. And maybe we'll do a side-by-side comparison. And maybe I'll give you my ultimate recommendation. So sit back as we compare games like Blade and Sorcery, Tales of Glory, Hellsplit Arena, and last but not least, Swordsman VR. Each games have their pros and cons, and I'm going to be judging everything from AI awareness to is the game overall fun, its replay value, and moreover, how much fun you can actually have while playing this. So let's sit back, strap on, and dive in as we first take a look at Blade and Sorcery. Blade and Sorcery is a game that has seemingly endless replay ability. That's because you're in an arena-based kind of game, and anything you dream of, you can really do to the NPCs. The different combat in this one almost feels second to none. Stabbing them wherever you want, you can really live out your wildest fantasies. The combat overall feels good, especially for newcomers. You can put your hands almost anywhere on these different blades, which allows you for things like half swording. Blocking and parrying feels excellent. The more you do, the better you get. The combination of blocking, blunt damage, and overall sharp damage really feels excellent. There's a variety of different weapons, including the fabled sledgehammer. And because the game has full physics, you can really take things to the next level. And because you could fully interact with the NPCs, you could do almost anything you want. The archery in this game also feels pretty excellent as well, with good accuracy, and you really feel rewarded for what you're doing. And let's not forget about the sorcery of this game as well. You can imbue the various weapons also, make this one catch fire, and that will make it easy to pierce this man's armor. However, the game also has its flaws. The enemies themselves have kind of the same tired, recycled animations over and over again. So once you really get used to them, you can pretty much block or dodge any attack. And honestly, if you just stand still, the enemy has a problem hitting you. So once you figure out their attack patterns, there's pretty much nothing that you can't do. And of course, there's more than just combat to this game. So for all you climbing and parkour enthusiasts out there, you can do pretty much whatever you want. Of course, as long as you're good. Because this game has full physics, you can climb on pretty much any surface you're looking for. Just make sure you practice. There are more than just one way to have fun with this game. Being able to control whatever you want really makes it stand out. So let your creativity flow. So what do you guys think? Is Blade and Sorcery your number one pick, or do you think there's another game that will top this list? Let's change the pace here. Up next is Swordsman VR. This game is also available on the PlayStation VR, but we're only going to be focused on the PC version because it's much better. But this game is so much different because you actually feel like you're getting into real-life sword clashes themselves. So the actual fighting is a little bit more challenging than a game like Blade and Sorcery. It's more, for lack of a better term, realistic. So I really think you guys are going to enjoy this one, but here's my take on it. Swordsman VR overall has a different feel. It's a slower based gameplay meant solely on becoming an excellent swordsman. Similar to Blade and Sorcery, this game also has full physics itself with the weapons. However, against the NPCs, there's not much you can do if you're not using your weapon. So punching is really out of the case. But the overall pageantry of it really makes you feel like the ultimate badass. Being able to clash swords feels really good. And stabbing right in the eyeballs, you're gonna love it. There's various weapons that you can pick up on the ground. However, you can't actually sheath your other weapon, so putting it away just means you're dropping it on the floor. Being able to quickly swap hands is also a bit of a chore, dropping it right into the other one, and you can't actually adjust your grip like you can with Blade and Sorcery. And when you don't have a weapon, things really stand out. Dodging is cool, but without the ability to actually interact with the NPCs, what's the point? This game really shines when you have a sword actually in your hand. And just like Blade and Sorcery, you could taunt the enemies with their heads. And don't even think about climbing, because that's not in here at all. The different levels look awesome, and the textures are great. The enemies themselves are pretty funny looking as well, and you can fight things like pirates, samurais, and even the normal knights. And of course, you could fire cannons at a kraken. Overall, if you're going to play Swordsman VR, you are playing it solely for the sword hand-to-hand combat and dismemberment, but not much else. The game might not have half sorting, but what it does have is a zombie mode. So pick up your weeaboo blade, spawn in, and get ready for some epic sword fights. Up next is a game called Tales of Glory. Now this game is very near and dear to my heart because it's like Blade and Sorcery, just to the next level. Currently there's very small mod support for it, but that's not the mainstay of the game like Blade and Sorcery is. You could have massive open combat battles in this, so if you played games like Mount and Blade, you're gonna love this because it's Mount and Blade meets full physics combat like games like Blade and Sorcery and everything else on this list. So the replay value of this game is enormous. You have the arena mode, you have the all-around normal battlefield mode, so I think you guys are really going to enjoy this. So I wanted to show you my take against the things like the enemies, replay value, and just the overall fun. Take a look. Tales of Glory is an overall super battle experience. So if you just wanted to go ham in a battlefield, look no further than Tales of Glory. You and some NPC friends will be attacking and defending towns like crazy. And the combat in this game feels nice and fluid, especially since the latest update. You can also jump and dodge in this game, unlike Swordsman VR. Archery feels pretty good as well. And of course, that cinematic kill cam looks good every time. And with the latest update, Tales of Glory introduces a randomly generated dungeon mode. And this brings a whole new gameplay aesthetic to a once already amazing game. Now you can have stealth kills and epic battles in a dungeon. Just make sure you bring your torch with you. And because the dungeon gets randomly generated every single time you play, it's not a big deal if you suck or lose. And lastly, we have Hellsplit Arena. I'm sure you guys have seen Hellsplit Arena, and it is different from a lot of these other games because it's just the arena-based gameplay. But moreover, you're fighting things like demons, skeletons, fiery eye knight, and there's bosses in this. Kind of like how Swordsman VR also has bosses, but it's a little bit different. What I really appreciate about this game is the enemies themselves. I love fighting normal human people with swords and shields and stuff, but I also love fighting zombies, and this game kind of combines the two for me. And out of everything else, NPC-wise, you could do the most devastating to the NPCs in this game out of any. Let's take a look at Hellsplit Arena. And then finally, there's Hellsplit Arena. After its new update added a horse and giant maps, the game really feels almost second to none. And they added a giant pike, so horse combat really feels immersive. Except, of course, when the zombies dodge you. If Hellsplit Arena had a slow-mo mode, it would feel beyond excellent. But with the new horse update, you're really going to feel like a badass. Your trusty steed could even help you fight, especially if an enemy gets too close. Make sure to finish them off yourself. And most of the weapons can be grabbed from just about any single point, so you can really make combat feel your own. And the visceral gore in this game against the zombies really looks excellent. And being able to half sword even with a bigger sword really makes it able to wield a larger sword with ease. Nothing says killing zombies quite like a crawler coming right up to you and you stabbing them right in the head. You can also grab the zombies basically wherever you want and do some of your own execution. And trust me, this game does not flinch with the different executions you could do. And the different levels mean you get a bunch of different traps that you can enjoy with the zombies. Unfortunately, there's no bow and arrow, so long-range combat is out of hand, but using the claymore is going to feel extra satisfying. Don't forget to imbue your weapons with the actual flame itself to have a stronger ghost blade. Zombies just don't stand a chance. And don't forget about the banana peel for the extra comic relief. Oh man, this is actually a hard one to do. I hope I showcase these guys to you, and I wanted to highlight all the reasons why you might want to get these games over the other ones. But ultimately, I would have to say the surprise is going to be maybe not Blade and Sorcery. And before you crucify me, Blade and Sorcery's replay value is like through the roof. The mods just make it better and better. But there are some quality of life things that need to happen in Blade and Sorcery to get it all the way up there. And I know they're coming. They're in the roadmap. Right now, we need things like more AI, better AI support, because it's just the same recycled animations. And once you get, too good at this game, you just kind of roll through everything and you have to rely on just the mods to get you through it. So ultimately, I'm actually going to have to give the overall gameplay and feel to Hellsplit Arena. And I know that might surprise a lot of you because I'm pretty much a Blade and Sorcery channel with very few amount of Hellsplit Arena videos on here, but honestly, the overall gameplay of Hellsplit Arena, every time I go into it, it's just so satisfying and surprising. You can get overwhelmed easily, but the combat, the visceral gore, what you can do to the NPCs, that blows me away. What I will take away from Hellsplit Arena though is it does have a sword trail, and sometimes the weapons, well, they don't feel as good. It doesn't feel like Swordsman VR, where it's nice and fluid, or even Blade and Sorcery for that matter. But ultimately, I think you guys are going to love all these games, but I wanted to strongly recommend Hellsplit Arena because of the replay value and what you could do just in the base game. Now, if this had mod support in this one, just forget about it. It goes to the next level, but it doesn't. And I guess that's kind of what Blade and Sorcery has over it. Anyway, rambling over, my recommendation is Hellsplit Arena. Well, Greebos, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit different, but I wanted to kind of bring a highlight to all these games at once rather than make a bunch of separate videos for them. What do you guys think of this video? Do you like it? You want to see more things like that? Let me know in the comment section. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, join the Discord, become a patron, because I have only 2 right now and I'm poor. But anyway, thank you to my patrons as well. You guys are super special to me. And remember, join our Discord and go into the Blade and Sorcery Media Clips section, and that way your clip can be featured in some of the new upcoming videos that I'm looking to kind of crank them out. Anyway, other than that, I've been Ron from Downloadable Content. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video.